Welcome to Mike Said It First, live on 12 Ounce Sports. I'm your host, Michael Carpellis. It's Friday night. You know what it is. Before we get started, do not forget to follow the show on Twitter at Mike Said It First. It's right there in front of you. Do yourself a favor. Get the topics before the show happens. What are the topics today? It is April 17th, 2020, and we got a 7-topic list tonight. The XFL is filed for bankruptcy. My hot take on Vince McMahon and why I do not like him. The NBA Horse Challenge failure. A warning to Bengals fans before they presumably draft Joe Burrow. Comparing rookies to legends. Don't do it. The Last Dance is coming up on Sunday. What to expect, and what Michael Jordan said you should expect too. Jamal Adams, should the Jets trade him? And Jalen Green is going to the G League instead of college basketball. What does it mean? How significant is it? Let's get started, but first, a word from DrinkAid here on Mike Said It First. We'll be right back.
DrinkAid, ready for distribution worldwide.
Okay, we're ready to get going. The XFL is filed for Title 11 bankruptcy. Apparently, owner Vince McMahon, who had pledged $500 million of his own funds, did not do so. Apparently, 25% of the funds came from the WWE, which McMahon owns. Also, he's put the league up for sale. Now, the last show on last Friday, I said that I believed it was a publicity stunt because at the time it seemed that it was. All that was posted on Twitter was a GIF. A GIF. Like, what are we going to do with a GIF? Okay, like this dude, like kisses goodbye to the fans, and like there's no official statement. Well, then we see the news that the XFL literally filed for bankruptcy. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? I didn't think that was possible with this thing. I know the virus put a sledge and a little wooden doorstop in front of things, but what in the world? Then I read the story. The man who said he was going to give the league $500 million. So nothing would happen to it. And he lied. I have so many emotions about this because I literally interviewed a player from the league named Jordan Thompson of the Seattle Dragons. I believe that the XFL was incredible and it should have stayed up. But the incompetence of this idiot who owns a fake sports league, for some reason, we all put confidence in him. And the confidence turned out to be our downfall. So many people loved the XFL. The ratings were still doing pretty well. It was better than a football league has been in so long. They had gotten it right this time. Because of a virus, McMahon says, now let's just throw it away. Like, it's one thing to cancel the season when these guys are trying to redeem their careers. It's another thing to just cancel the whole thing altogether. But why would you lie in the first place? I get it. Nobody saw a virus coming, and that's understandable. But why would you lie to the public? He lied. He flat out L-I-E-D lied. And it's unfair to fans who want to watch entertainment. Okay? So what if we cancel the first season? That was annoying. It was very annoying. Now we just lost P.J. Walker to the Carolina Panthers. But you're going to tell me that all of that was for nothing? Now, I do believe that somebody should buy this thing. And I think it's awesome that if it possibly is up for sale, that would be great. But it infuriates me as a person who is one of many who invested time and efforts into promoting this thing, into making it a thing, and it was a thing, because the virus happened, McMahon says, nah, I'm good. Like, really? Is he okay mentally? Again, we were told by McMahon himself that $500 million of his own money would go into this league so nothing would happen to it. Then Vince, what happened? Why did he lose interest? There's no reason for him to lie like that. They hyped this thing up so much, got awesome TV deals, and now I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see it again. I thought it was incredible. I'm a Vipers fan, and we were not very good. But I enjoyed that league. I even broadcasted the game for the Hot Mic app. It was so fun. And as a super sports fan who loses crap like this, it's frustrating. Because it's your time that you're putting into this thing and your resources, and then somebody lies about it. Like, that's not fair. It's unrealistic to, like, and it goes to put sports into perspective, because, now we don't have any sports. I get bored all day. And you wonder, like, do I have any values in life besides sports? It's sad, but I'm extremely disappointed and fed up with Vince McMahon. I was one as a little boy, when I would visit my biological father in Virginia, I would watch wrestling, and I enjoyed it. It was a good product. And I realized how dumb it is. There's still super fans of wrestling. It's literally scripted. This was a spring football league that I told people would take off, and it did. And guess what happened? Just like the AAF. It's over because people up top didn't care. In the Alliance of American Football, it wasn't as successful, but because it didn't have the brand name that the XFL had, nor did it have TV contracts, the AAF was literally a pretty good league. It was competitive. And people up top just got stupid. The AAF was not losing viewers like you think it was. Like, there's stats to back up what I'm saying. The AAF just had idiots who were running it. And the XFL apparently had the same problem. It's pathetic. This doesn't go to show Roger Goodell's awesomeness. It goes to show just how unfair it is that we're watching the NFL who swears they don't cheat the game, and then they have referees that don't call blatant pass interference call. Then you got the other form of football we have is college football, and they don't even play their athletes. So now we don't even have a college football video game. The XFL was prime, man. We were going to have a video game next year. I swear to you, we were. And then this crap, I don't understand it. This is a completely different tune than the slight optimism I had last Friday. And I apologize to you guys. This show is called Mike's to the First. I call things before they happen. Okay? And the fact is, nobody could have seen this crap. And it's really frustrating. It's extremely, extremely frustrating. Speaking of frustrating, as a person who really enjoys the NBA in the way it's proactive, this NBA Horse Challenge was everything I thought it was going to be and worse. So Mark Jones commentated contestants how they tried shots on their own goal. Eventually, Mike Conley beat Zach LaVine. That was probably the only good shots that we saw the entire tournament. So we saw I get that we have to isolate ourselves, but can someone explain to me why we had a commentator? First of all, I think Mark Jones is an incredible broadcaster. I really do. I think Mark Jones is an incredible broadcaster. As a person who appreciates broadcasting, I like Mark Jones. But why? Was that to make it dramatic? He was filming himself from his phone. So was everybody else. There were times when Zach LaVine would ask Mike Conley, "Hey, did you make that? Did you make that?" What? This was so poorly done and executed that Mike Conley, in his first matchup, was literally thinking about wow, I wonder what's going on here. He was wondering what shot he was going to do. If these guys were actually prepared for this thing, this would have been a whole lot better. But this was completely unpreparedness by the NBA. And ESPN should be ashamed of themselves that they try to put their 2 cents in it as well. I mean, some of the shots were okay, but in a game of horse, I'm expecting wow, that's an awesome trick shot. And Mike Conley, yeah, he had a few. Zach LaVine had some nice ones, but I mean, it was boring. It was boring. It was completely unprepared, and it was stupid. Again, I said last week, I said, man, I want to have optimism because it's the NBA, but I was like, I don't know about this thing. And lo and behold, it was way worse than anybody could have ever thought. It was trending on Twitter, getting so little views. I think I drew in 668,000 viewers, which is significantly low for the NBA. But nothing else is on TV, and you watch this, and then you see what happened. It was pathetic. It was absolutely atrocious, and ESPN and the NBA should be ashamed of themselves. I'm not saying how easy it is to, accomplish things like this in sports right now, but I will gladly take esports over this crap. This was so bad. Part of me wants to laugh, but part of me is we're sitting there waiting around for the NBA and all kinds of sports, and this is what we get. Even the competition of it was just non-existent. I get that maybe it was kind of cool to see the players try their own little shots, but the fact that they didn't even know what shots they were going to take, the fact that they were filming it with a flip phone, it looked like, the fact that they got Mark Jones to broadcast to make it that much more dramatic when it clearly wasn't. And the fact that literally the players just did not care. Nobody cared. The person who cared the most was Paul Pierce, and he sucked. He was trash. And I could have told you that from the beginning. But it was a really shame to watch. And man, I cannot wait for sports. But when we come back after a word from 12 Sports weight loss, we're going to talk about a warning to Bengals fans. I'm going to change my tune a little bit. I'm not going to be as angry. Why Joe Burrow is not what you think. And please don't compare rookies to legends. We'll be right back. This is Mike Sina first on 12 Ounce Sports. Okay. The former star quarterback at LSU, Joe Burrow, is expected to be drafted number one overall by the Bengals in an NFL draft next Thursday. If you have not heard my show before, you might want to. There's a problem here. So, all I'm hearing is how Joe Burrow's the next great thing. How Joe Burrow's going to lead the Bengals, who aren't as bad as we think they are, to the playoffs. How Joe Burrow this and Joe Burrow that, how he had the best season in college football history. And I want to give a warning to fans, especially Bengals fans. Again, my show is priding itself on calling things before they happen. Taking no nonsense. Just telling it like I see it. Don't care about what the media says. Just doing what I want to do. Just telling you how I see it. Joe Burrow is going to be good. But Joe Burrow is not going to be great. I believe Joe Burrow will be better than Dak Prescott. I believe he'll be about a Phillip Rivers type of guy. a really solid NFL career with a chance of some greatness. But to act like this guy could be the next thing the greatest thing that ever happened, like, the hype machine is terrible with this guy. Again, Joe Burrow is the guy who had Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ja'Marr Chase, Thaddeus Moss, Justin Jefferson, and a pretty okay defense last season. In the championship game, Joe Burrow did not show up until his running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, finally started gaining yardage. It is not my opinion. That is what happened. You cannot tell me the LSU Tigers were winning that game when they were down by 10 points in that game, and Joe Burrow was doing nothing. As soon as Clyde Edwards-Helaire got going for LSU, Joe Burrow got comfortable. Now we're hearing that Joe Mixon might hold out. Your star wide receiver, A.J. Green, guess what he did? Last season, he was supposed to come back by week 8, and he didn't come back at all. Don't tell me A.J. Green, what's the point of playing? What's the point of playing? Because we as fans pay to see them play. That's why. You don't go to the NFL and get a check because you sit around and wait for the bad times to be over. That's not fair. This Bengals team is not as good as you think it will be. It's no disrespect to Joe Burrow. It's disrespect to the idiots who think he's going to be great. He's not. Joe Burrow is going to have a Phillip Rivers type career, like I just said. He is going to have chances to do some things 1 or 2 years. But if he does not capitalize on those chances, you can guarantee it, he'll just be a solid NFL quarterback. I've watched this tape. I've watched live games. I've done it all. Okay? Joe Burrow is not some game-changing, game-breaking quarterback. In fact, I'll put it this way. I'm not saying Lamar Jackson's a better passer because that would be stupid. Lamar Jackson is a better game breaker than Joe Burrow. I've said that about Lamar Jackson before he had the MVP season, okay? Lamar Jackson, I've been a big fan of his since day one. Since Louisville, when he won his Heisman year. But make no mistake, Lamar Jackson can make more plays than Joe Burrow. That's not a knock on either of the two. But when this hype machine comes around, and then Ian Rappaport goes on Twitter and says that he talked to a GM of one of the 32 NFL teams, and the GM told him, this draft is not going to go the way you think it will. I'm not saying Joe Burrow could be, that he'll be passed up at number 1. But Bengals fans, don't be surprised if 2 things. Number 1, if Joe Burrow's not great. And number 2, if they draft Chase Young anyways. None of those things would surprise me. Again, no disrespect to Joe Burrow or the Bengals fans, but do not hype this man up. You will be severely disappointed. Joe Burrow was compared to Tom Brady and Joe Montana. Tua Tagovailoa has been compared to Aaron Rodgers and now Dan Marino. Both have not been drafted by an NFL team yet. You know, you might think I'm being hypocritical with this. Here's the thing. My show is predicated on calling things before they happen. I said after the draft that Trae Young in the NBA for the Atlanta Hawks is going to be better than Steph Curry. Why? At an NBA level, I had seen him play. I'd seen his passing and his shooting. His shooting was up there with Steph Curry's, but his passing and his passing willingness was way better than Steph Curry's. That's why I could say that. Why are we comparing Joe Burrow to Tom Brady because of one good college season? Like, How many guys have had good college seasons and not shown up? Jamarcus Russell, Vince Young, Robert Griffin III. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Tua Tagovailoa. I think he's better than Joe Burrow, personally. But this argument's not for that. This argument right here is ask you guys why. What does a left-handed quarterback remind you of Dan Marino? Because he can extend the play? I don't understand this mindset. It is one thing to be high on a player, but to compare him to some Hall of Famer is A, inaccurate, and B, unfair to the player. Yeah, a top 5 draft pick or top 6 draft pick, wherever they fall, is very impressive. But is it Mitchell Trubisky's fault that he was drafted ahead of Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes? Or is it that people just won't give him a chance because of one bad season? It's not fair to these quarterbacks. It's not fair to their fan bases to hype these guys up to Dan Marino, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers. Like that's like the all-time greats right there, and you're just like saying, "Oh, that guy's gonna be better than him." How? What? It's a college quarterback. Marcus Mariota had a heck of a season at Oregon. But what? What happened? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not right. And these fans that do so do not know what they're talking about. If you hear Trent Dilfer compare Tua Tagovailoa to Aaron Rodgers and Dan Marino, and then you go on Twitter and say, well, I think it. No, you don't think anything. You're lying to yourself. One of the worst things I hate with fans is when we go on and listen to these experts talk, and then we go on our little show and say, well, I think he has this potential. No, you don't. Unless you are literally watching 24/7 game film, which I know you're not, then why are you talking about this stuff like, oh, well, Tua Tagovailoa can be the next big guy? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. You heard Trent Dilfer say it. And then you're going to look as stupid as everybody else does. Again, rookies being compared to legends before they're even drafted because of a good season in college is just stupid. And my show is called Mike Said It First. If anybody would do it, I would do it. But why don't I? Because I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot, man. Okay, when we come back, The Last Dance premieres on Sunday. Well, what's gonna happen? What does Michael Jordan think's gonna happen? Jamal Adams might be traded, and Jalen Green has opened up a big-time door. But first, a promo for myself here in Business Inquiries. We'll be right back. So Mike Said It First on 12 Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's show. I'd like to use this break as a self-promotion. If you like what you hear, email me, michaelcarpellis12ounce@gmail.com, and maybe we can create a long-lasting partnership. I love promoting brands, and it'd be cool to have a product I know listeners and myself would like. It would benefit both sides. Thank you for tuning in. Now, where were we again? That's right. Email the show, michaelcarpellis12ounce@gmail.com. And also follow the show at Mike Said It First on Twitter. It's right in front of your face. If you didn't see it, I'm sorry. Watch the replay. I'm kidding. I'm not being an idiot. Okay. The Last Dance is a 10-part documentary by ESPN that begins Sunday. It details how Bulls icon Michael Jordan and his final championship run, how it began, how it ended, and how whatever. So, it's interesting to note that Michael Jordan, besides being considered the greatest basketball player ever, which he's not, but that's another topic for another day, Michael Jordan has gone on record on Good Morning America and said, people will view me as a jerk. Hold on. Oh, okay, Michael Jordan. I'm talking to you now, not Mike. Not Mike said it first. I'm talking to Michael Jordan. Michael, I understand that the majority of your supporters think that you're some icon and think that you're some amazing person. But if you're surprised by this, you're an idiot. Like, Michael Jordan comes across as the biggest jerk of all time. It took Kobe Bryant dying for the man to show any emotion. Michael Jordan, and I want to say this, that I'm not going to use this documentary of something that happened in 1996, I believe, the year I was born, for crying in the sink, to act like that's going to give me motivation to why LeBron James is a better player. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is tell you guys that just because the media tells you something that happened years ago, if you don't remember vividly watching it, why are you talking about it? All we hear about Michael Jordan is like three things. Number one, he's 6-0. Number two, he's the ultimate competitor but did everything right. Didn't have a flaw in his game, which is a lie. I do not understand why we allow people to paint the pictures for us. There are very few people that I come across on Twitter who were alive and old enough to recognize 1996 as greatness. You can watch all the YouTube replays you want. You will not find every single moment of that game because you did not live it. You've heard about what happened, but you did not live it. See, people paint this picture for themselves that Michael Jordan is just some amazing, untouchable, just a godlike figure, and that is so stupid. I've never understood that. The LeBron James is picked apart by the media and fans alike, and yet when you support LeBron James for being better than Michael Jordan, you get told, well, you're an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. You're just 23 years old. Well, first of all, I am 23. Second of all, what? How? Because I question your worshiper? Like the person you worship? Like Michael Jordan saying that, like, oh, well, people aren't going to like me. I'm sorry if you thought you were untouchable, sir. You were a 6'5", 6'6" guard who happened to have just bring it every single night. Kobe Bryant did the same thing. Giannis is doing the same thing. Zion is doing the same thing. LeBron does the same thing. Russell Westbrook does the same thing. You're not special. But I do believe that this 10-part series is going to be good. I know ESPN, there's probably like the 30 for 30 guys doing this, and those things are usually incredible. I'm expecting to watch this and love it because it's basketball, and why wouldn't I love it? It's going to detail things that happen behind closed doors. Apparently, there's never before seen footage. I don't see how, considering Michael Jordan was literally the media baby. But supposedly, we've never seen this footage before. I'm excited. Hopefully, you are too. But I mean, come on, dude. No, they're going to view him as a jerk. You are. Get over it, dude. But no, I love the fact that ESPN's doing this. I know they recently had it pushed like later on, but now they're going to like push it even like closer because of the coronavirus. And that stinks that it had to happen like that. But Sunday, the eyes will be glued. You know they will. And I will be definitely recapping what I saw. The Jets are entertaining trades for safety Jamal Adams. This is for the second year in a row around the draft. Apparently, they couldn't offer him a contract, or they don't plan on doing so. And then Jamal Adams is going to hold out like be a complete idiot about the whole situation. So they're going to try to listen to trading for him. Listen, Jamal Adams is an incredible player, and nobody's denying that. But this dude is a pompous jerk. On Twitter, this man thinks he is the greatest thing in sliced bread. And I understand it takes confidence. I understand you want to see that from a guy. But this dude is borderline cocky. Actually, he's extremely cocky. He changed his hashtag and his username to Prez. This dude is a me first and not we first kind of guy. You heard media members talk about how, well, he's not a good team player. And sometimes I don't like that talk. This dude is the epitome of what they mean. This guy is going to ask for so much money, and teams are going to give it to him. Teams are going to give it to him. He will not win a ring begging for the kitchen sink. That's not how the NFL works anymore. He may win Defensive Player of the Year multiple times, but are you here for yourself or are you here for championships? Because I don't know which one it is, sir. If I'm the Jets, I don't get rid of him, though. Now, why is that makes no sense. Like, you just bagged the guy, but now I'm talking him up. Here's what I mean by that. Adam Gase is not a good head coach at all. At all. When he had a hold of Ryan Tannehill, Kenyon Drake, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, those guys were okay and sometimes not very good. But when they went to their respective teams like the Titans, the Cardinals, and the Steelers respectively, those three guys went off. They went absolutely off. Le'Veon Bell, when he's with the Steelers, is one of the best backs in the NFL. Sam Darnold is a number one overall pick. Le'Veon Bell had his worst season last year. Sam Darnold looks like an average quarterback and actually has doubters nowadays. Although his counterpart Josh Rosen is not even seems to be in the league anymore, Sam Darnold is literally just a guy right now. It's kind of sad. But if I'm a Colts fan, I'm a Colts fan, I dump him. If I'm a Patriots fan, I dump him. If I'm a Jets fan, I don't know what else to do with my team. Like, are we really, like, I get this dude's a me first and not a we first kind of guy. And I don't say that about a lot of guys, but this dude comes across as a cocky idiot. But if you're the Jets, someone's got to do something. Adam Gase is not a good head coach, and until the head coach changes, I would keep Jamal Adams. He's a great enough player to keep. You will not win any championships with him acting like that, especially financially. He's about money and winning Defensive Player of the Year. A ring would be nice, but I think he'll be satisfied if he doesn't get one. I really do. And I know that sounds taboo to say. But not every all-pro, whatever, is going to be a championship player. That's just how it is. Phillip Rivers is a really good quarterback. He's not great. He's not a Hall of Famer, but people are going to call him a Hall of Famer. He didn't win rings for a reason. I'm not saying Jamal Adams isn't a better safety than Phillip Rivers was a quarterback. I'm saying Jamal Adams is literally a great safety with a gigantic ego. Also, I kind of have to get used to the fact that Phillip Rivers is my quarterback for next season. At least it's not Tom Brady. Phillip Rivers is not going to be very good for us, but we'll see what happens with the Colts. I don't know. We're getting new uniforms, all kind of stuff. When we come back from this word from Lexington Law, I'm going to talk about Jalen Green. How signing with the G League is huge. Don't go anywhere. This is Mike's in the First.
Nothing makes us happier at Lexington Law than when our clients cancel our services. Listen to this client call and see what we mean.
Lexington Law Firm, this is Erin.
I would like to cancel my account.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. Actually, you guys have done tremendous work for me, and I was working with you for several years now, and my goal was to get a mortgage written by the end of this year, and I just got that mortgage commitment.
That is wonderful.
My credit went from like 440 working with you guys to 700.
Nice.
And I got a very good 4.25% 30-year fixed rate mortgage. I have nothing at all bad to say. If you ever want me to write a testimonial, well, I will. As a matter of fact, I've recommended you to a lot of friends.
Lexington Law has served over 500,000 clients. taking expert action on their credit that has led to the removal of millions of questionable negative items from their credit reports. Call now and learn more about how Lexington Law may be able to help you in the removal of negative items from your credit report, such as collections, late payments, charge-offs, and many others. Call Lexington Law today.
I hope you have enjoyed tonight's show. This has been Mike Stitt First on 12OunceSportsNetwork.com, wherever you may be listening and watching. Thank you so much. Even if you're on the replay, I see you. I see you right now. Before we get to the Jalen Green to the G League situation here, I'd like to first thank our sponsors, Drinkade, Lexington Law, 12-Ounce Sports Weight Loss, and of course myself, Michael Carlos, 12ounce@gmail.com. A show recap before we get to Jalen Green. The XFL fired for bankruptcy, and Vince McMahon is an idiot, and he lied to us, L-I-E-D, lied to us about pledging $500 million to the league. NBA Horse Challenge was a complete failure, and as an NBA fan, I expected way more, and it was poorly produced, poorly prepared. Everything was bad about that. Joe Burrow's going to be good. He's going to have a pretty good career, but he's not going to be as great as people think, and Bengals fans should not expect anything more. Comparing rookies to legends in the NFL draft is stupid, and you should not believe half the stuff these people are saying. The Last Dance is going to prove that Michael Jordan was a jerk. And personally, I don't think that's news, but I cannot wait to watch and discuss it next Friday. And Jamal Adams is a cocky, moronic, whatever, but he's a great player. And if I'm the Jets, I keep him. If I'm any other team, I don't. If I'm the Jets, I keep him because Adam Gase is just not a good coach. And now, the final topic of tonight's show, Jalen Green. I'll be honest with you guys, I have not seen any footage of Jalen Green, I don't believe. I just haven't seen any. I know he's the number one prospect in ESPN 100, and he's supposed to sign with the G League the 2020-2021 season, which will open up the 2021 NBA draft for him in this new G League contract. If you have not heard, if you're a high school player, you can go make money without going through college and busting your knee up. You make $500,000. You can't be signed to a team yet until you enter the draft process, which would be next year for Jalen Green. Shout out Jalen Green for doing this because this is incredible. I mentioned this on the show a few months ago that this is going to be the beginning of the end for college. And then we had some speculation from other people that, the first guy has to do it. Well, congratulations to Jalen Green, because this right here is the beginning of the end for the NCAA. For years and years and years, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, I believe that's the acronym for it, those guys have been concrete jungle losers. They have mistreated players with a transfer rule and other kind of stuff. They've mismanaged things. They've just been cash cows. Jalen Green has opened the door wide open. This is not just the number 20 prospect or the number 10 prospect. This is the number one prospect, Jalen Green, is taking his talents past college into the NBA G League. Will he get a whole bunch of publicity? Maybe not. But will people start to notice after a while? Yes. This dude's a pioneer. He will be forever remembered as the guy who passed up college. So many players have complained that they should have been paid the money that these colleges make. I'm not saying college sports won't be a thing. It's not going to be as big of a thing anymore in about 20 years. It's going to take a while, but Jalen Green, thank you so much for being that guy. Again, it was speculated that this was a great idea, especially by me. I love the idea. But who was going to open the door? Who was going to be the guy? That guy is Jalen Green. I personally wish the G League would put more games on TV. NBA puts the Summer League, so why not the G League? I actually know a guy named Jaqueen Gant from Effingham County who plays for the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. He was like a Pacers affiliate. And he had a pretty good season last year. I loved watching the highlight reel. Came across my Facebook page the other day. I actually played basketball with Shaquille Gant one day. I will take to my grave that I blocked one of his shots. Dude's like 6'10" or 11 with a jumper and can like dunk out of the sky. Incredible stuff. But cannot wait for G League to be on TV. I think it's a great little league. I also think Jalen Green did an awesome job by doing this. I mean, it's not only like just the pioneer aspect. It's the fact that he's making $500,000 to play not in college. Like, that's awesome to me. Like, why should I have to be held hostage by college who's just going to profit off me and I can't make any money? It's whatever. Time is about 10:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's for the live viewers. If you're the replay viewers, it's whatever time you're listening to me, and thank you so much for doing so, no matter which way you're doing so. My name is Michael Carvelis. Do not forget to follow the show on Twitter at Mike Said It First. It's right there in front of you. Please do not miss it. Here, I'll even make it bigger for you. Watch this. Boom. Mike Said It First. And if you like the logo, boom, it's right there. In fact, here's a better version of it. This has been Mike Said It First. I'm just having fun with OBS. It's on Sports Network. Have a great one. Next Thursday, some special stuff, so stay tuned on Twitter to that handle right there in front of your face. Trust me, you're going to like what we have in store for next week, but it will be announced on Twitter. Please stay safe, and please have a good one.